welcome back to Cityscape. In this episode of Secret People, we will cover Neville Goddard, a writer and mystic who's known for his books on self-help and metaphysics. We all have moments in our lives when we reach a new low, or a period where nothing seems to go right. You know, the time where there is no money in the bank, or you get your heart broken. We've all been through those periods. But what do you do in these situations of despair? Each person handles pain differently. Some people suffer silently, while others look for help. Regardless of what approach fits your personality, the focus is usually to get rid of the problem. And this is precisely where we go wrong, according to the guest in this episode. Neville remarks that no matter how dire the situation, our focus should not be on a problem. Rather, we should shift our attention to the circumstance we desire. By focusing our attention on the ideal condition, we shift ourselves to a parallel reality that always existed but was unoccupied. This idea may sound like pure imaginative fancy, but this is exactly what Neville claims, that imagination creates reality. As always, let's start with a brief background. Neville Goddard was born in Barbados on February 19, 1905. He moved to New York City at the age of 17, where he initially worked as a ballet and ballroom dancer. In 1931, he was approached by an Ethiopian rabbi named Abdullah, who introduced him to the Kabbalah. For those of you who don't know, the Kabbalah is the Jewish mystical interpretation of the Bible. It is usually transmitted orally and is passed down along Hasidic lines. Anyway, Neville studied under Abdullah for several years until he himself started teaching and writing books on the subject. Neville has written several works, but the most known are The Law and a Promise, The Power of Awareness, and Feeling is the Secret. This episode, however, will cover what I believe to be his best work, At Your Command. According to this book by Neville, everything you attract into your life, the people, the money, the relationships, are all a reflection of your self-concept. The concept you have of yourself is the gravitational center that pulls all things towards you. This is quite different from the other law of attraction narrative, which states that you simply attract what you think about. Neville argues that your self-concept, the idea you have of yourself, is the base from which everything that you attract into your life is based on. Any attempt to change the outside world is vain and fruitless, for the outside world is just a reflection of what you are conscious of being. Change the concept of self, and everything else will change. Many people initially found this idea nonsensical, even today, but science has recently discovered a similar narrative. Researchers have found that the subconscious idea you have of yourself works as a governor. For an example, if you believe you can only run 1 mile, your body will get tired around 3/4 of the way, even if you have the capacity to run 10 miles. The idea you have of yourself works as a governor that prevents you from ever reaching your true capacity. This field of changing your governor by manipulating the concept you have of yourself is now known as Psycho-cybernetics.
The question, "Whom do you say that I am?" is not addressed to a man called Peter by one called Jesus. This is the eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. In other words, whom do you say that you are? For your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life. That is, your secret convictions of yourself, these secret claims that no man knows of, when really believed, will be shouted from the housetops in your world. For your convictions of yourself are the words of God within you, which words are spirit, and cannot return unto you void, but must accomplish whereunto they are sent. You are at this moment calling out of the infinite that which you are now conscious of being, and not one word or conviction will fail to find you.
Another interesting remark from Neville is that prayer is not what people think it is. Most people see prayer as asking God for things. a process similar to begging a father figure for a wish list. The book states that this is not prayer. Prayer, according to Neville, is claiming rather than begging. Mentally own the object or state you desire. Since the physical reality is a reflection of your consciousness, the world will, in time, manifest what you mentally claim as yours. Faith is an important part of prayer. You must have a firm conviction that your claim will manifest into reality. Faith in what, you may ask? Faith in the cosmic law that says it is done unto you as you believe. Just like an engineer has faith in the law of physics that he employs to make his machinery function, you should have faith in spiritual laws that say, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you receive them, and ye shall have them. This statement reminds me of a scene from Indiana Jones I saw when I was a child. The guide told Indy that a bridge would manifest if he took a step forward in faith. Falling off this cliff would mean certain death for our hero, but he mustered the courage, took that leap of faith, and the bridge materialized. Why am I bringing this up? It is because I think courage is also an important part of faith.
Praying, then, is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire, rather than its accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which you now desire. So can't you see why the millions of prayers are unanswered? Men pray to a God that does not exist. For instance, to be conscious of being poor and to pray to a God for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, which is poverty. Prayers, to be successful, must be claiming rather than begging. Therefore claim, I am He. In other words, claim yourself to be the thing desired. Claim it in consciousness, not in words. And consciousness will reward you with your claim. You are told, you shall find me when you feel after me. Well, feel after that quality in consciousness until you feel yourself to be it. When you lose yourself in the feeling of being it, the quality will embody itself in your world.
The last point the book stresses is the importance of feeling. It is not enough to just visualize the thing you want to experience. You must feel what you are claiming as an actual reality. How is this conscious feeling developed? The answer is simple. It is developed by practice. Similar to an actor playing a role, you must rehearse the feeling of the state you want to manifest. Keep rehearsing the feeling of having what you desire. Rehearse it until it becomes your natural state. That, of course, requires discipline. Once that naturalness is obtained, your claim will manifest in unforeseen methods. More often than not, your manifestation will take you by surprise. That's how infinitely more creative the intelligence that surrounds us is.
In spite of its seeming reality, turn from it in consciousness. Become indifferent and begin to feel yourself to be that which would be the solution of the problem. For instance, if you were imprisoned, no man would have to tell you that you should desire freedom. Freedom, or rather the desire of freedom, would be automatic. So why look behind the four walls of your prison bars? Take your attention from being imprisoned and begin to feel yourself to be free. Feel it to the point where it is natural. The very second you do so, those prison bars will dissolve. Apply this same principle to any problem.
Speaking of manifestation, one way to attract new people into your life is through the secret spots you save on Cityscape. Every spot has a list of the people who want to go see it. Just tap on the orange icon to see who else wants to go there, and you can send them a message. Those of you who want to meet new people should download the Cityscape app. The summary I have given you in this episode is but a small glimpse of the ideas taught by Neville. The man was far ahead of his time. For an example, Neville remarks that humans can project themselves to a future reality and travel backward in time to experience it. Many saw this as mystical nonsense, but years later, a physicist named Richard Feynman discovered particles called positrons that move backward in time to re-experience a former state. This phenomenon is known in physics as retrocausality. Feynman was given the Nobel Prize for this discovery, but Neville had spoken of it decades earlier. What can I say? Reality is much stranger than we realize. If life is your canvas, and you can indeed experience whatever you want through imagination, why not paint something beautiful? See you next time.